They're either chasing the carrot. So, what are some common carrots? Money,
Status.
status, prestige, relationship,
Fame.
what?
Fame.
Fame,
Stability.
stability. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, stability. Any other carrots that we're chasing?
Recognition.
Recognition.
Parental approval.
Approval, recognition. Awesome.
Success.
Success. So we're either chasing the carrot, right? Which means we're always behind the carrot. Or, now we have the carrot, so we have money, we have the partner, we have the prestige, we have the approval. Now what? How do we feel?
If it's not the right thing, like the learning about part,
Yeah.
then you're bored and frustrated and
Or
losing
frustrated?
your passion for it.
You did the wrong, you picked the wrong thing. What else? Let's say you picked the right thing. How do you feel?
Happy, fulfilled,
And?
Probably energized.
energized,
Yeah.
motivated,
What happens if you lose it?
inspired.
What happens if you lose it?
If you lose the
Thing that you wanted.
yeah.
Now you have money, you have the partner, and then you've lost it.
Devastated.
Defeated.
Unhappy.
Totally. So we're either behind the carrot,
Right.
or even if we feel happy for that moment, like we found the love of our life or whatever, we're afraid to lose it.
Right.
So we're constantly in this state of either anxiety or we're chasing it.
Right.
Most people, but we're not most people. I'm gonna teach you how not to be most people. So this happens when we get really attached to the result. Like we're always like thinking about the result, we're worried about it, we're always behind it, we're always chasing it, anxious about losing it when we get it. So how do we break the cycle? What do y'all think? What do you think? How do you break that cycle?
Practice detachment.
Practice detachment.
Yeah.
Have faith.
Have faith. All right, so put faith,
Believe.
detachment.
Just think about the doing and not the carrot.
Think about the doing. Ding, ding, ding. So what does detachment mean to y'all?
Not worry about the result.
Mm-hmm.
Just being in the moment.
Ding, ding, ding. It's not
Appreciating the moment.
appreciating the moment.
Appreciating the moment.
It's not caring, right? So it's not like we have our partner, now we just don't care about them. That's numbing. That's numbing life, okay? And we're still making this carrot way bigger than us. That's the thing, like we don't want to make the carrot so big. Because the carrot's just 1%. Like it's just 1% of life. So, how do we still have goals and not always be attached to the result, always chasing the carrot? Being present. So it's like when you're with your partner or you're with your, or you're, doing work that you love and you can spend the money on something that you really enjoy doing. Are you really present to that moment? And then again, it's kind of the same thing, really. It's the ing. It's being in the ing. It's in the doing. It's in the living. It's in the action where life is. That's 99% of life. So how do you think you still set a goal though, if you're present and you're present to the doing? Like why would you set a goal?
You want to still envision where you want to be maybe 6 months from now.
Why?
Because it plants a seed of hope.
But why aren't you hopeful now? That's faith. And I love that. That's
Yeah.
faith.
That's faith.
Gives you structure
Gives you structure. So why do you need structure?
so that you actually go after it. It being the dream or the
Why? If you can feel how you want to feel now, why would you do that? It's a hard question. So I'm really challenging you.
So you have a vision. You have to have a vision.
Why?
To fulfill your goal.
I guess
Why
just,
is it
just
all?
because you're fulfilled and happy and things are good doesn't mean that it can't be better, I think. So
You can expand that
Yeah.
capacity. So it's like I was talking about in the visualization, right? Like there's only so much you can feel right now in your current body, in your current conditioning. It's sort of like an electrical outlet, right? Like it can only hold so much power that you can allow to be with you. And so you have, in order to build more, it's like a muscle. You do have to be with it, but you can build more. So that, I love the way you put that, because that, so the goal now becomes this thing that tells you how, it gives you the structure to expand your capacity for joy. Because it'll show you what you're bumping up against. Like if you can feel this amount of joy right now, and you set a goal, now you know, all right, how do I get to that? It's gonna give you something to like press up against. Because right now, like you can't just be like, oh, how do I feel more joy? You know, it's like you have nothing to, there's nothing showing you what's preventing you. Because there's something preventing you from expanding into that joy. And so when you set a goal, it's like it gives you that resistance. It's like in working out, like you have to go pick up a weight to actually build some muscle. Well, the goal gives you the resistance.
It keeps you motivated and inspired.
Not necessarily, because you can be motivated and inspired right now. So you can, and you actually, it's the opposite. Like you want to feel that motivation and inspiration that's gonna move you towards the goal. Like you allow that feeling to lead you towards the goal. But the goal is going to show you where you don't feel motivated and inspired so that you can be even more in. So right now you can fill yourself with motivation and inspiration to a certain extent, sort of like maybe like a balloon or something, right? And so then the balloon's going to pop at some point, but then you're building a bigger balloon so that you can have more and more. And the goal shows you how to build a bigger balloon.
So can you give an example of what a goal would be in that
Mm-hmm.
case?
Yeah, so money can be a goal. That's why I challenged her. I was like, what's your financial goal? Because it'll show you where you're bumping up against abundance. Like if you want to feel, money is like, it's all about connection. So when you limit yourself from money, it's because you feel disconnected. So when you set a money goal and you use the goal to say, okay, I'm bumping up against where I feel disconnected, then now you can expand your capacity for connection. But if you don't have anything to bump up against, if you don't set that money goal, you'll stay the same. You'll stay how you feel. So the same thing could be love. Like maybe you want a partner, or maybe you want a deeper relationship with your partner. And so when you start dating, if you're single, it's going to show you where you believe you're disconnected from love. And so it'll give you, so it's like the balloon, this is how much love I can feel right now. And then as I set this goal, I need a bigger balloon for that goal. So you can expand the balloon. So you're not stuck in this cycle, but you're expanding your capacity to feel how you want to feel in this life and be present to the moment that's in front of you. And a big part of it too is believing that you're bigger than just a little ego. You are connected. And that's, everything, money, love, it all boils down to connection, and it all boils down to how one do I feel with other people. And so if you want that experience of divine, God, whatever you want to call it, higher self, higher purpose, it is about that connection. And the goal will show you how connected or how separate you feel.
And I think it's like once you're in that space of being detachment presence, like you automatically want to share, like expand.
Yes.
And you want to share this positive energy.
You want to share.
Love shares, expands, while fear kind of constricts and.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the attachment to the result is based. It's conditioned. It's the ego. And it's going to. So you're gonna bump up against it, and it's okay. Like there's nothing. It's perfectly human. It's perfectly like normal. There's nothing broken or wrong about you because you're gonna bump up against the ego. It's nature. It would be like, telling a fish or a cat not to meow. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's stupid. Like that's what the ego does. It just is. But when you start to identify not with the ego but with something beyond the ego, that oneness, then you can be in this space where you're not always, you use the result, you use the carrot to give you something to bump up against, but you're not always one step behind it. You are in this moment, and there's nothing, because the only reason we do this is to avoid pain. That's it. And the ego is always moving us away from pain. And so right now, the more we crave that result, the more we're attached to that result, it's only because we're afraid of some sort of discomfort. We're afraid of something we've labeled as painful. And even that is just a feeling. The story that's attached, I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy, whatever, that's just the story. What's the feeling? We're going to go through an exercise of that in after lunch. But it's really about when you make yourself bigger than that feeling, now you are out of this cycle. I'm not sure we ever totally leave the cycle, but that's kind of the cool thing, is that we just keep expanding our goal. We just keep making it bigger and bigger, and we make that balloon bigger and bigger. And that's the work of the life. That's the work of this lifetime for me. And that's what I encourage, my clients to have as the work of it's so much better than money, or, you know what I mean? Like, money is a really cool tool to use, and we need it. We need to use the tool of money. When we reject money, it's actually, we still are making money bigger than us. We still made it bigger than us. And so when we just use it as it's a really cool tool of my expression, of my creative ability, of my childlike imagination, of, what's possible for me, then it's it brings us back to everything that is, this is love. And love is everything from loving others to loving ourselves, and loving that creative spirit about us, and loving the fact that, in the little right formula, the way I like to think about it is are you a monkey? Are you a fish? Are you a cat? We don't know. That's your job to find out, is which of those, not that you are those things, but you know what I mean? Are you supposed to be climbing trees? Are you supposed to be swimming in the ocean? Are you supposed to be, scratching things? I don't know, and that's the work of your life, and that is about loving. You have to love this human body enough to get to know it well enough to be able to love that and express that. So, but this is so key to loving your life, because if you're always chasing the carrot, you're never in the moment, and this is what we have. We have the moment, and so that's why it's so important. But we can use those goals, and that's why I think of it as success. We use those goals to stretch us. Yeah.
It's like when I took Anna hiking at